Many Hull fans are saying, I've no idea how we won that Pompey game. This one had an idea, though. AD says, absolutely no idea how we won that game. Oh, yes, I do. Matt Crooks, welcome back to Where Tigers Walk. This is why you should save trees. Absolutely mega that he's back. And just what have we missed when he's been absent? That's what a question we're putting to Matty, Ben, and a very tired Elliot, because he's been up and down the country on a coach to Pompey. How are you, Elliot? Have you managed to get some sleep on the coach back last night?
Yeah, not so much on the coach, but I had a good sleep overnight, so it was well worth the 2 a.m. wake up for.
Worth travelling at 4 a.m. You imagine. Well done to any Hull fans that went down to Pompey as well. Crazy kickoff times. Right, lots to get our teeth into then. Matt Crooks is back. What have we missed from him? Why are we just so good away from home, and how can we translate that, of course, at the MKM? We're looking at our fixtures in March. We've got our February Player of the Month to announce as well. We're looking at referees as well, and because we're looking at referees, we're also on the letter R in our A to Z. Loads to chew over. This is 20 minutes of Hull City chat. Thank you for your company. If you are an excited Hull City fan with what the next 10 games are going to bring, drop us a quick sub. We're very grateful for your company. 20 minutes a week. Right then, Matty. He's back.
Yes.
What have you missed?
Good job, eh? Good job he is back. I think it's just... I think he knows how to play that kind of attacking or that number 10 role really well. But I think it's obviously his physicality helps massively in that midfield. But I think also, and this isn't disrespect to Geldat. I think Geldat is more of that attacking player. But Crooks drops back as well and kind of we're not overplayed in midfield. I think when we play against the three, it seems to be like 3 versus 2 in there because Geldat doesn't naturally drop back. So Crooks does drop back and helps out in the midfield. So he helps out defensively. He's physically there. He's a goal threat. He gets around the pitch to say he's such a big lad. And yeah, he kind of changed the game a little bit when he came on. We were more of a little bit more of a threat going forward. But he definitely made a difference in terms of just linking that midfield up with the attacking play. So yeah, he has been massively missed, and I was highly critical of him last season. Kind of didn't see his value to the team, but with him being out, we have missed him massively, and I think that just goes to prove yesterday when he came on and had such an impact. So happy that he's back in the team and got us firing again. So great.
Yeah. Elliot, you were there. Did you recognise what Matty said there? Did he affect the game?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, he popped up with a goal, but I also think when he came on, we just seemed it wasn't as much of a one-way traffic. Like Portsmouth were still attacking more, but I felt especially after the goal, we seemed to be a bit more comfortable, and we looked a bit more comfortable in terms of right, we've got the goal, we could sort of see this out and know that we're winning and we're on top in terms of the scoreline. And yeah, he just brings a bit more of a physicality and a presence that I feel like we maybe lack when we don't have him. So it's a massive bonus that he's back, and hopefully we can keep him fit now till the end of the season.
Yeah. The stats, Ben, for the game are crazy. 9 touches in the opposition box compared to Pompey's 50. 21 shots they had, 5 on target. I mean, you can see why the opposition fans keep saying you're the worst team we've ever played, can't you? But do we care anymore?
Not really, no. I think Matty summed it up perfectly last week where he said, just win, and if you have to win ugly, so be it. As long as you get the 3 points on the board, that's all that matters. And I think that's it, really. Everyone's banging on about the fact that the XG is like the lowest in the league and all that sort of stuff, but we're scoring goals. We're on 60 points. We're not there by a fluke. We're winning games because we've got good quality players, and I think we deserve to be where we are because we've worked hard to get there. It's not like City have got there on good fortune. They've rode their luck at times. They've had poor results. They deserve to be where they are, and it's just one of those things that after every game we might be the worst team that they played, but we're 4th in the table, 4th or 5th in the table. So yeah, you can't complain, can you?
Yeah, and cheering on Birmingham City tomorrow night against Borough, aren't we? It's that time of the season. Let's have got some social media takes from the game then. Smithy says, we effing needed that. Crooks ramped us up, but McBurnie won us that with sheer effort, not giving up on the play, up the effing Tigers. Yeah, I mean, oh, goodness me, the signs of him vomiting on the coming up for the second half, Matty, will never Yeah, all over social media. But yeah, what does he give you, McBurnie? Is it industry? Have we missed that as well sometimes?
Yeah. After he's very, he is a kind of in the Crooks mold, I suppose, in terms of he does offer us that physicality and that outlet. I thought against Derby as well, he was outstanding as well midweek. So, but he's that kind of person that he's the striker that we've missed for years in terms of you can play it up to him and he will hold it up and he will bring other players into the game. But you don't realise until you actually see him live how much hard work he actually gets through. And I know we said this about Pedro last year, but he is so much different in terms of that because you can play the ball up to him, he'll hold it up. And I have felt sorry for him in those games that we lost because we kind of isolated him a little bit in terms of that he does need players to play off him, but he is, and everything he's kind of doing at the moment is hitting, is striking goal. I mean, the goal he scored midweek against Derby was excellent. He set up Egan. He's just I think he's the ideal championship striker in terms of that. His physicality. He can occupy two centre halves at once, and he just adds something to our game that we have missed for 3 or 4 seasons. We've missed that clinical striker since probably Delap. Since we had Delap on loan, we haven't really had anybody like that can do it. So yeah, he is probably the best free transfer we've probably ever signed. Probably the best in the league this season, to be honest. So.
Great. Blip over Elliott, do you reckon?
I'm not too sure. I think it depends on how the next 3 games go with us playing Ipswich, Millwall and Wrexham. I think the Derby game last week was a big step forward in terms of we played a lot better and there just seemed to be a different energy about us. And then yesterday, if we hadn't have won the game, there'd probably be a bit more concern. So we'll see how sort of the next few weeks goes. But ultimately, we've won our last 2 and we're consolidating our playoff place at the moment. So I can't really complain too much right now.
The emphasis on home form, Ben, in the Championship this season is not lost on some. We've got so many teams which are playing and picking up points away from home. Derby, in particular, away from home. Apart from obviously this week, Blackburn are much better away from home, and you guys, of course. If you look at the number of points you picked away from home versus home, it's absolutely phenomenal. Since QPR away. Played 8, won 7, drawn 1, lost none, 15, scored 5 against, clean sheets 4. What is it about Hull City away from home versus at home, which is different, which means you're picking up so many points?
I don't know whether it's because they might not be under as much pressure as they are at home, because it's been like the common theme the last 2 or 3 seasons. City have been poorer at home and picked up a lot of points away from home, and it's the same again this season. Obviously, we've broken the record that stood since, 1966 or something like that. So it's a long-standing record, and they just keep on playing well away from home. Yeah, they might not have played great on Saturday, but they pick up points. And I think the away support, because it's so much smaller than what we get at the MKM, it's so much louder and consistently as well throughout the game. Our away support is probably, I know it's a bit biased, but it's up there with one of the best, I'd say, in the league. It's always really loud. When you hear it back on like the videos they put out for Sky, it's always really loud on there. And I don't know, I think they just seem to play with a bit more freedom away from home, because obviously everyone's there watching at home. People might be watching on the TV away from home, and it's a lot less pressure for an away side to pick up the points, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Matt, do you agree?
Yeah, I think probably the way that we set up as well is complete. We are kind of I suppose now more of a counter-attacking pressing team. So I think teams do come to the MKM and kind of sit in, and we do probably find it difficult to break them down. And if you look at some of the wins the season that we have got at home, they've probably come against the teams that are very similar to us, that like to counter-attack. But teams that just sit in and defend, we do kind of struggle to break down a little bit. So yeah, and I think there's just a bit more added pressure at home, and I don't know if it's just a little bit of a mindset thing that we've had for the last 3 years, that we've got this thing that we just can't win at home, and we just kind of need to go away from that a little bit. But yeah, Yeah, it's really difficult, isn't it, to put your finger on why we're so much better away from home. It's just an absolute, yeah, it's just a strange thing in it at the moment. But so yeah.
Okay. Still to come, stay with us. We are looking at February's Player of the Month. Who gets it for you? Start letting us know in the comments. Plus referees. Who we got any good ones in the league? And if so, who are they? They're shaking their heads already. And we're looking for the player and horses' history with the surname R, which definitely should be getting into the A to Z. We're into March now, Elliot, of course. So we'll do our February Player of the Month in a minute. But have a look. I mean, you've got some. Quite a lot of fixtures here. Of course, you're playing catch up because of lots of different reasons, FA Cup reschedulings and so on. And it has now landed that means the next weekend, as you pointed out, are the three other teams currently in the playoff position. So, is it fair to say we'll know a lot more about where Hull are going to finish after that Wrexham game, and then a nice 2 easy games to finish off the month with away at West Brom and home to Wednesday?
Yeah, definitely. I think even sort of by the end of March, including those last two, just because West Brom are sort of fighting for their lives and we're going to have to try and go there and still do what we need to do and have the pressure of being the massive favourites in that game. And then the same being Sheffield Wednesday at home, obviously. We failed to beat them at their ground and we're going to sort of really need to win that game, I think. Being at home and obviously Sheffield Wednesday have had a terrible season, which has sort of been out of their control, really. But I think ultimately, as I said, by the end of March, I think we'll know whereabouts we are, having played some teams around us, but also teams below at the bottom of the table who fans will probably expect us to take 6 points from.
I mean, can Middlesbrough be caught, Ben, when you're 3 points behind with... yes, I mean, their goal difference is probably worth an extra point. Can it be done?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely can. The points between there's us, Millwall, Ipswich, and Middlesbrough. That second place come the end of the season could be quite literally any of those four teams. So, yeah, I don't see why it can't be done because, as we've seen previously, City have had poor run of games, have dropped a couple of places and a couple of points here and there. Middlesbrough could quite easily have that slight run at the end of towards the end of the season. They might slip up here and there in a couple of games where you'd expect them to win, like Elliot said, against teams that are down there. And obviously they're fighting for their lives down at the bottom. It's not always going to be as easy as it should be, really.
It starts with Tuesday night against Ipswich, Matty, which we are looking forward to. Keeping Philogene quiet is going to be one thing, isn't it?
I think there's probably 5 or 6 other players, isn't there, that need to try and keep quiet. It's always going to be a tough game, innit? And I think we kind of expected Ipswich to be up there. I think we probably expected them to have kind of run away with it with the team that they've got at the moment. But against the better teams this season, we've done reasonably well away from home against them. So and defensively, we like on Saturday we are. The statistics are a little bit skewed, I think, because although Portsmouth had all those chances, Pandor made 2 comfortable saves. That's it, really. Do you know what I mean? So defensively, we do look quite strong, although we are giving up maybe long range shots and stuff. So if we can go into that mindset, you've got Egan and Hughes who have been outstanding for the last few games. There's no reason why we can't go there and pick up a result. And the next 3 games, I think. They're not. I think they're important, but I don't think they're pivotal in terms of us getting the playoffs. But if we can come away with 4 points from these games, I think we'd be happy with that going into the rest of the season. So yeah, for me.
Okay. Would you all start Crooks then on Tuesday night, or you'll keep him on the bench and bring him on later?
Yeah, and I think he's got to start, hasn't he? I think he's got to start, and I think Geldart's probably. He is more effective out wide, and for me, he is. He has proved to be more effective out wide. So I would be moving him into the wide position, and Crooks has got to come back in through the middle. So yeah.
Okay. We'll look forward to reviewing that game and, of course, the Millwall game next week. So join us for that. February Player of the Month time, though, please, Elliot. Who gets? It's been a bit of more of a mixed month this month, but who gets it for you?
Yeah, it's quite hard really to pick out sort of a particular standout, but I think I'm going to have to edge just McBurnie particularly recently, a game yesterday sort of created that goal, and then against Derby he was exceptional up front, and then I think he also scored earlier in the month as well. So probably him, but I'd also give a shout out to Amir in midfield, who I thought was really good against Derby last week. But I just think in terms of what McBurnie's brought consistently, I'd have to sort of say him.
Okay. Ben?
I think it's going to be the same as last month. I'm pretty sure I went for him last month, but Regan Slater. I mean, it's been not the greatest month for City. Obviously, they've not had too many good results, but the one consistent throughout all of them has been how well Slater's performed. And I think even against Chelsea, the players he was facing up against, he still put on a good performance. So I'd have to go Slater.
Any new names, Matty, or are you happy with those?
I'm happy with either all the suggestions. I think Slate as well picking on the people at Derby, where it started causing fights at Derby, which was great. Sticking up for his team, which was good. I suppose the only other person I'd probably throw in there would be Charlie Hughes. I think he's been back to his best possibly, but I think probably Slater it would definitely pip it for me. I think he's had an outstanding season so far. So yeah.
All right, bro. Quickly, letter is R this week, so we're talking about relegation. We've talked about promotion last time. Relegation. Who'd you like to see the back of, Ben, of this division? We know that Sheffield Wednesday are gone, but which of the two teams would you like to sink without a trace?
Maybe some of the ones that were down there with us last season, because they were all giving it big ones to us last season, and this season we're up here, they're down there. I mean, West Brom are teetering on the edge, aren't they? It's a big side that always gives it large when another team's struggling. So a big side like that, I suppose, maybe. And then other than that, no one that I'd like to see go down, but just whoever's down there. I think Oxford maybe might struggle if they're in the Championship for another season, because they've had quite a tough season this season.
Okay. Elliot?
There's not really anyone that I'm wanting to go down, but I think realistically...
Oh, come on. There must be a fan base that gets on your nerves, Elliot.
Portsmouth.
I'm not too sure, to be fair. I think realistically, I think Oxford are going to struggle to get out of it. But also, I think it's between Leicester, West Brom and Blackburn, because I think I was quite impressed with how Portsmouth did yesterday, and I think they'll have enough. They've got sort of a decent gap at the moment, so as long as they keep picking up points, I think they'll be all right. So I'm probably between them three. I think Blackburn, with their ownership, I suppose with Leicester as well, but their ownership, they've sort of played with fire. Like a couple of years ago, they nearly went down as well. So I think they're sort of, if they're not careful, they'll eventually get sucked into it. So maybe them potentially, but I think there's not really anyone that sort of out of them fan bases where I can say they've really got on my nerves too much.
Right. Okay. Both of you too nice. Come on, Matty. Tell us who gets on your nerves.
Oh, definitely West Brom and Leicester. Just I think probably Leicester annoying because they still sing, Champions of England. You'll never sing that, which we will never sing that. Not in my lifetime anyway. But it's just funny to see them go from the Premier League down to League One and have it to start again. So I've no particular dislike for them, but that's just hilarious, and it's just funny. So, how can you go from Premier League Champions League, and now you're in League One? Yeah, so Leicester for me, they can go. West Brom, big team out. They're a big club, but again, just nice to see that. Just nice to see teams like that go. I think just because it's for comedy value more than anything. Just to see their fan bases explode on social media.
Right, before we get to R then, let's finish off our discussion on our referees, please. First of all, before you're negative, is there a good one? Can you name a good referee that we've had a couple of times now? You think, yeah, actually, not noticed him, he's been all right.
It's a struggle, isn't it? It is a struggle. It is a struggle. Yeah.
Who's the worst?
They're all pretty much of a muchness, aren't they? Really,
same level, yeah.
Who do we?
It depends how they get on, sort of in the game. Like I think there's some that I'll be quite impressed with them when the ref has one game and then there's another game where they won't be as good. And I think it just comes down to sort of inconsistency in the decisions, but also I suppose the rules don't really help either. I think it is a hard job for them to be consistent, but there's not really anyone who sort of stands out regularly or to me at all.
Is it Andy Madley? He's awful, isn't he? Is it Andy? Is it him?
I think it's Bobby Manley, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's one of them, isn't it? He's dreadful. He's dreadful. There's a couple of them that have just got. It's just ego, innit? It feels like it's more ego, but it's just. I think it's consistency, innit? It's just you get some really simple fouls that are given 1 minute and not given the other. And like Saturday, that the referee there, he just start off with, and it's just like, come on, get on with it. And Derby the same. It's just like, it's a championship. It's a physical league. We're gonna, these are gonna happen. We'd rather you play on than stop the game, than keep stopping it, but then giving silly fouls and stuff. It's just like, yeah, Matt, I don't think there is. I think the refereeing standard is not great.
Let us know. There must be one in the chat. If you've seen a decent one, let us know. Or the one that gets the most. Right then, letter R, please. You coped really well with Q last week, so this is a nice easy one for you. What have we got, please, team?
Who's going to go first?
Just anyone.
I'll say I'll throw in Vicenia just with his player and manager connection and him being a very good servant to the club.
Okay.
The other one I could think of was someone you might not like, Mark Andy Robertson.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay. Come on, when he's not going in.
I think the only one for me would be Gareth Roberts, who is obviously a player that played during the 80s. He's a one man club who played over 400 odd games for City throughout the 80s. So he one man club, 400 games. A kind of combative midfielder who got stuck in, but also could get us playing forward, and didn't really score many goals, but he obviously played every week, and he was in lots of kind of successful teams in the 80s. So for me, it would be him, who's a one man club for City. So yeah.
All right. Sounds a good shout. Then we'll put Gareth Roberts into Hull City's A to Z. Brilliant. If you've not followed us, what we're doing here is each week different letters of the alphabet as we move through, and one player or one event or something to do with Hull City's history, which we get into on A to Z. S then next week. Must be loads that you can think of for that. So join us for that chat. Before you head off, drop us a subscribe. That'd be absolutely amazing. And press the like button. And we're fascinated to know your thoughts on that Pompey game as well. If you disagree with anything that we've said, we'd love reading all the comments as we do each week. Thank you very much, Matty. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Elliot. Thank you very much for your time. We'll catch you in 7 days' time after we've played 2 of our playoff rivals. Don't forget, one of these could be a Wembley final this week. Fingers crossed. Catch you next week.